Okay, so we're going to say what we're talking about. Should we do what not to do first, or what do we do?
You just notice a lot of people in the industry use, only bleach.
This is why you don't. This is what we do instead.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, we're rolling. Welcome back to Pressure Washing 101. I am Seth with Aiden Pressure Washing, joined by
Brodie, co-owner here.
Oh, had to one-up me.
Today,
go ahead. Today we are talking about wood cleaning, what we do, what not to do, why we do it. So we're talking about fences, decks, composite. No, that's a different process. Not composite, just normal wood. So what do a lot of people do that we recommend not doing?
A lot of people just use your typical sodium hypochlorite, also commonly known as SH in the industry. We recommend to not go this route because
it doesn't really clean the wood. It just takes off that first little layer, bleaches it out. A lot of guys have to use higher pressure with SH because it doesn't do a good job of pulling the actual dirty wood fibers out. Kind of like how we talked about with house washing. If you just use high pressure on mildew and algae, it doesn't really kill the base layer and it comes back a lot quicker.
And if you just use sodium hypochlorite, it affects the pH levels in the wood. So if you were to just use bleach and go in and apply a stain afterwards, it would not adhere properly. That sodium hypochlorite needs neutralized. So now we'll just go into our process, which is a 3-step process. We like to pre-wet the deck. That is not step 1, that's a go step. But then we'll go ahead and use sodium percarbonate. That's usually a 12 to 14, 10 to 14 ounces per gallon. We'll go ahead and mix that in a 5-gallon bucket, stir it up, put it in a pump sprayer. Go ahead and apply that first thing so it starts, eating at your organic growth. What we've started using more recent and we find to be more superior is your sodium metasilicate. This is not your, this is more of a, it's more aggressive, but it's also not on the bleach, spectrum. Your sodium percarbonate is your oxygenated bleach, so sodium metasilicate is, superior. So after we apply a cleaner,
go ahead and actually wash the deck. It's very important not to let anything that you're applying dry on the wood. Always got to keep it wet. So after you apply your carbonate, your metasilicate, you go ahead and actually wash the wood. It's very important to do one piece of wood at a time. And what I mean by that is if you're doing a deck board, do the full deck board in one pass. If you stop in the middle, or if you just stop in general on a piece of wood, it's very easy to leave a mark in the middle of the wood where you stopped. You can blend those in if it does happen, but if you know what you're looking for, it's very easy to see where you stopped at.
make sure you're going with the grain of the wood.
Yep. So the tips we usually use are, for us it's a white tip. It's not the usual white tip that comes on your machines. It's less pressure than that. We use little under 1,000 psi. You try not to exceed that when washing wood. It's very easy to strip the wood.
And our preferred machine is 4 gallon.
Yeah, 4 gallon.
Honda.
Yeah, you can use an 8 gallon if you want, if that's all you have. We prefer to use a 4 gallon just because it's less water volume. And like I said, it's very easy to strip up the wood fibers and leave it fuzzy when you're done washing, which is not what you want. If you go ahead and stain after that, you'd have to sand it all down, get a smooth surface. So you can just skip that if you use less pressure and the correct amount of water volume. So after you wash all the precarb, metasilicate, whatever you're using off,
apply your wood brightener. There it is. We use oxalic acid. The ratio for this is about 8 ounces per gallon. Stir that up in a 5 gal, put it in a pump sprayer. Apply that, brightens your wood, and then it also will neutralize your cleaner, which is important for those, you know, going in and staining their projects after. So.
Yep, so your cleaner usually will leave the wood with a more basic level pH. Wood is naturally a little acidic, so that's why we go back with the acid, just to neutralize it and bring it back to its acidic nature. Very important to cover the whole surface with oxalic. If you don't, you can see spots in the wood where you missed it. You know, if you're cleaning a deck and you kind of want to see what that looks like, do a couple deck boards, wait a minute, and then look at the ones next to it. You can see what happens if you don't cover the entire wood.
Significantly darker.
Yes.
Yeah, can't miss it.
Yep, lots of spots, so yeah, it doesn't leave the wood looking good.
And it's pretty aggressive since it is an acid, you know. We'll recommend using a respirator. Yeah, that's and make sure you're upwind when you're applying. You know, it can trigger some coughs, affects your lungs a little bit, and irritates the skin if it does get on there. So PPE is always highly recommended when working with chemicals. But yeah, we'll go ahead and put some pictures, maybe a few video clips in after this, so you can see, you know, some before and afters of our projects that we've done. If you wouldn't mind, you know, hit that like button and subscribe. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for watching.
Yep, thanks for watching.
Okay, so we're out here washing this deck, and I wanted to take a second to kind of show you the different steps in our process, or at least what the deck looks like at each step. So we'll start over here. This is the dirty section. As you can see, Brodie's washing it up. So we go from dirty, this section's clean, and then this section's brightened. So there's 3 steps that we do: soap, wash, brighten, and then we do a final rinse down. So you can kind of see what the wood looks like at different stages. I'll do another quick walk by. We'll start with the brighten finish step, and then I'll show you the clean and then the dirty.